Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Chundy Green. And as always, Daily Juice being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE. Get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. All right. What a Sunday. Not amazing on the props here. Did nail my massive 4-unit side, of course, with the Philadelphia Eagles. Props and Bengals, RIP to those. But hey, got a lot to recap. And then we got a couple of basketball games, 3 to be exact, 2 college, 1 pro. But let's get to the recap, get the losers out of the way. Trent Irwin over 8.5 receiving yards. He had 6. Come on, Irwin. Some of these long shot stuff's fun. Brock Purdy, interceptions over a half. Didn't hit. I guess that's what happens, when you lose the ability to throw the football. It's tough to get the interceptions. I was immediately yelling at the sportsbooks, refund, void my Brock Purdy interception play. No, I didn't do that. Young people do. Again, the avoiding stuff, I am really torn because I don't want to be the hater, because if they're giving you refunds, who am I? It's not my money. And hey, if someone else gets their money back, great. I guess just as someone who grew up betting with a local guy, the idea of asking him to give your money back because someone got hurt is it's just very, very hilarious, but possibly an age difference there. Or even if you get a ticket at a sports book, just imagine going back to some of those surly people that work behind the counter and going, yeah, I think I should have my money back for this ticket. Yeah, the guy got hurt. Doesn't count. All right, just see the reaction. Somehow if you're on social media, it works out. Noah Gray and the Hurts anytime touchdown that didn't hit, although did hit the Hurts anytime touchdown. That thing has just been a machine. I can't believe it was plus odds. Like, the guy just gets a touchdown every single game. He is Jalen Hurts, rare breed, untamed. Cincinnati Bengals and the points didn't hit. Man, that was a crazy game. It was obviously like a really good game, back and forth. Kind of my handicap was I thought the Bengals were able to throw in the Chiefs. I think they were able to do that for like large periods of time. I thought they'd kind of be able to get away with, hey, Burrow gets sacked, who cares? We can figure it out. And they almost got away with it. It was just really that last sack to force the punt was really just one too many. They gave up a ton of sacks early. Seemed to figure things out in between, bringing Wilcox and some of those other guys into block in the backfield. And then, he had some really nice throws. The T. Higgins touchdown was amazing. That deep ball to Chase on 4th down. Like, there really are opportunities to throw on that Chiefs defense and just couldn't take advantage of it. And then the roughing the whatever it was, unsportsmanlike conduct, essentially end the game, put them in field goal range. That was a horrible way for the game to end. And yeah, it was a penalty. His foot was out of bounds. He was on the chalk. Oh man. But it was just such a good game. Again, my bets aside, it was just horrible for the game to end that way. And you almost, even if you bet on the Chiefs, I still think you feel bad for that guy, because he was just racing after him and just, but yeah, it was a fun back and forth game, but ultimately Bengals couldn't get the win. It was just the Bengals offensive line a little too soft, and ultimately that was the difference. And really, I kind of stuck to my guns with the picks because I liked for the side for that one, but it did feel like late. Like when the mayor put out that video, I swear that really was the difference maker. I should have done a late swap onto the Chiefs, but once the mayor's calling you out, that was just you knew it was way too much. Last but not least, the big win of the weekend, my Philadelphia Eagles 4 units. Fly Eagles, fly, 31-7. Like I said, Purdy gonna be hurty. Wasn't wishing he was going to be injured, but I did think that the Eagles were going to be able to get to Brock Purdy. I thought the biggest matchup difference was Hassan Reddick going up against Mike McGlinchey there on the right side, and you saw that in the play that knocked Purdy out. You saw it early and often against Josh Johnson when he came in. Like, the Eagles dominated both sides of the trenches, honestly, offensive line and defensive line. And the 49ers have a really good defense, but when your offense can't move the ball at all, it really puts a ton of pressure on them, and they eventually kind of cracked. Eagles were able to run it down their throats and just kind of dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage. I know everyone's, if you back the 49ers, I'm sure you're like, but injuries, the refs, it's not fair. I mean, let's get real. The Eagles dominated top to bottom. Even if you give the 49ers a couple of those calls, it was 31-7. It was a dominating performance, dominating win by the Philadelphia Eagles. Outplayed them and showed they were the best team in the NFC. And, not to take shots at the 49ers, they had a really good season. Hats off to them for, they won 12 games in a row to end the season. Brock Purdy had a really nice run there, but it was bound to run out when you take that on the road and go to Lincoln Financial Field. There's a reason no rookie quarterback has ever started a game in the NFL Super Bowl, and that streak continues thanks to the Eagles. All right, hey, you guys want something for free? Well, the show's free, picks are free, and you can win 1 year free of Betting Pros Premium. Get that upgrade. Let me upgrade. YouTube.com/bettingpros. Hit subscribe. Comment on this video. Every comment is an entry to win your free upgrade. If you don't feel like waiting to win the contest, you can always go to bettingpros.com/upgrade. Bet smarter, not harder. All right, kicking it off. Syracuse, home dog. Love Syracuse as a home dog. They're scoring off against UVA, catching 5 over on DraftKings. I'm taking them as a home dog. I'm just a massive fan of the program. This isn't certainly the most talented Boeheim team by a wide margin, but I think that's kind of factored into the number here. And UVA hasn't been great on the road, 2-4 ATS. Cuse, 8-5 ATS at home. And again, UVA is a very good team. That's why they're a road favorite. But laying points in the Carrier Dome is really tough. And I don't like taking teams as road favorites if they're not dominant at offensive rebounding, because that's how you get those extra possessions. That's how you cover a -5 on the road. UVA 260th in offensive rebounding percentage in the nation. And Syracuse just kind of figures it out at home. I know they've had that tough loss against UNC, but they did get that last-second cover. I think this game could kind of be similar. And they've been hanging around with good teams. I think a win against UVA goes a long way for them getting in the tourney. I don't know if they quite get the outright win, but I do think they will be there. This to me feels like a one-possession game. Syracuse figures it out at home. They're 7-2 straight up last 9 games. So give me Cuse as the home dog, catching 5 over on DraftKings. Next up, got a Texas battle here. Baylor at Texas. I'm taking Texas, laying 3.5 over on BetMGM. Horns up. I usually like fading Texas, partly because it's so fun to do the horns down thing. And, Baylor's defense on the road is pretty rough, honestly. Like they don't have a great defense to begin with, but then you take it on the road and obviously it's worse. 36 in the nation scoring at home. That's what Texas is. Baylor's road defense, 292nd in the nation. To me, the worst unit on the court is Baylor's defense, and they both have really good offenses, so it should be a fun game to watch. But I think situationally as well, like Baylor's won a bunch of games in a row. They're almost kind of due for a loss. And then Texas on the other side, they just got destroyed by Tennessee on the road. I think this is a nice bounce back, get right spot for the Longhorns. So give me Texas laying 3.5 at home. Last but not least, a little NBA, the association. Lakers at Nets. Nets are laying 8.5 at home. I'm taking them. Give me the Brooklyn Nets 8.5 over on BetMGM. LeBron kind of losing it, tantruming on the court after that overtime. I think it was overtime, loss against the Celtics. LeBron and Anthony Davis both taking a personal day, a.k.a. resting of the first game of back-to-back. Lakers 0-5 straight up, 0-4-1 ATS without James on the road. I guess you can make a case that they're fired up after that Celtics loss, but I just don't see it. Ben Simmons is out for the Nets. That's always good for the Nets. Kyrie Irving, I think he's been shooting really well. He's been on a nice streak scoring and shooting. I think he runs it up here a little bit on the Lakers. So give me the Nets, lay in the big number. Nets -8.5, Texas -3.5, and Syracuse as the home dog +5. Hey, as always, follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros, BetMGM.com, promo code JUICE. Get the $1,000 risk-free bet. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And remember, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Check out my other podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast. And you know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.